Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Almost wanted to say good morning, but it hasn't been morning for some time. But welcome to this new middle of the day market update. Kind of wanted to keep you updated on the circumstances and just in general the market right now. So that's what we're going to do. I mean, we have not had that much movement. I mean, you can see we had a move down here, but basically into the same support level that we've been at since last week Wednesday. So not much is going on. The US is opening in about 15 minutes, so probably when I upload this video the US is opening, so be aware of that. And usually I actually quite like a move down into the US session. I mean, what we see right now across the board with the fundamentals, to dive right in, is that we still have a Coinbase Bitcoin premium, so that indicates some sort of buying pressure coming from the US. And then outside of that, I mean, the fundamentals, I mean, nothing really warrants a move like we've seen. I mean, the dollar strength index is bearish, which is good. The stock markets right now have to open. They're opening a little bit lower, but it's not that much lower, and it's leaving a bit of a gap to the upside for the S&P, which is good. And then outside of that, the USDT dominance, yes, it's bouncing up, but I would still say it has rounded out here, and that the most likely direction is down. And same thing with the Bitcoin dominance. Even though I must say, with the Bitcoin dominance, it's been bullish for so long now. It's very, like, you're almost always wrong if you're saying that the Bitcoin dominance is going to drop down. So yes, it looks like we can get a bit of a retrace here, or at least it looks most likely that we can get a retrace in the last. This is the moment that it looks most likely in the last 10 days, so that's a good thing. But it hasn't broken down yet, and there are some signs that we're retracing, but I wouldn't assume that. All right. But yeah, so the fundamentals are pretty good. I mean, you can see here at the total 3 for altcoins specifically are still at resistance, right? I mean, personally, if I really want to believe that altcoins can have some sort of a rally here, some sort of sustained bullish momentum, I would need to see this level right here at $925 billion in total market cap for the total 3. So that's altcoins excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. I would need to see that level break. All right, if that level breaks, then there's a lot of room to the upside for altcoins to grow into. At this point of time, like, sure, there are some altcoins that are performing relatively well, and we're going to be talking about those in this video at the end. But most of the altcoins, you're basically buying into resistance, which is never a great thing. So be aware of that at the very least. I'm not telling you to not trade or not buy anything, because there are opportunities to buy in the markets this week again, so that's great. I'm just telling you, make sure the altcoin that you're going to buy actually has some sort of a reason why it would move up higher, where most altcoins are not. Basically, you have to look for that specific momentum. And Bitcoin itself, Bitcoin is a bit hard to predict right now. I mean, we rejected from the POC area again. So for me, the most likely, like we're within this range right here, right? And for me, the most likely direction or the most likely bound or side of the range that's going to be hit is still the downside. Now, because I think the fundamentals short term actually look quite good, I'd say we can still have that short term bullish momentum, but I don't think we can reach the outer bounds of the range, and I still think it's most likely will drop down. Now tomorrow, as most of you know, we actually do have CPI and inflation rate data. If that's positive, then we could actually have a breakout and we could rally up higher. But that's dependent on the news. And for now, my bias, at least on Bitcoin, is still slightly more bearish than that it is bullish. But those are my thoughts. I mean, we're in the middle of the range, right? And in the middle of the range, price action is quite unpredictable. It's at the edges, it's more predictable. I've always told you that I would say, like the first time we dropped down into the lower bound right here, I told you it's going to hold. When we got up to the top right here, I told you it's going to drop down. Now we're in the middle. It's very close to 50-50. But like I said, given the uncertain fundamentals, I'd still have a bit of and the high Bitcoin dominance still. I have a slightly bearish bias still, and I also opened a short today, just so you know. But yeah, so that's Bitcoin and the fundamentals. To talk about XRP real quick here, it's basically, it's very similar to Bitcoin, right? I mean, we have this resistance, or at least it's a little bit higher in the range than Bitcoin, but it's at resistance. There's no sign that will break out. So also for XRP, the most likely direction, even though there's almost no movement. So is it really direction? I don't know. The most likely direction is still down as well. Unfortunately, if there's any news, I'll let you know. If there's any change of direction, I'll let you know as well. But that's my thoughts for now. Now, taking a look at the altcoin market. A couple of altcoins I like. None of them tradable yet, but I'll show you why. I mean, Ondo, for example, is quite strong. But Ondo is also at resistance still. And even though I think it's a great project, I don't see enough of a reason why it would break out above 1.5 or 1.45, which is part of the resistance. Now, BitTensor, which is Tau, is a bit stronger. If that's able to hold 400s and 380 as support, I think that's a good buy. So that is something you should definitely have on your watch list. Amazing project. We're not seeing that much strength for AI, but BitTensor itself, like I said, $400, amazing key level. If it's able to stay on top of that, that's an amazing sign for it. And then Sui has also been relatively strong, but there we have the same problem in the sense that, yes, it's strong, but we're at resistance. So I need to see that total 3 breakout first before assuming that Sui can continue to be bullish as well. Same thing with Litecoin. Bullish on Litecoin, but it's at resistance with not enough or insufficient reason why it would break out. And then outside of that, I mean, are there some coins with some high volume? Volume is definitely increasing, but I think that's it for now. There are, like I said, there are some pockets of liquidity, pockets of volume I think you can trade, especially with the US opening in 8 minutes. So be aware of that. But for now, I would still say this is most likely for Bitcoin, and keep your eyes on the Bitcoin dominance if you want to know the direction for most altcoins and some strong altcoins we talked about in this video. But those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching. Take care and bye.